Hi guys, my name is Ferdy Korpershoek and in this tutorial I will show you step by step how to create a beautiful news or blog website using WordPress and the newspaper theme. Let me show you what we are going to make. So this is the website we are going to make. I will show you how to configure the header. You can have all kind of different headers. I chose this one with the date, with social media icons, with our logo and a beautiful menu. And over here you see a mega menu with all kinds of tutorials based on the category. Here you can see them all, or complete tutorials, email marketing, plugins, web hosting. Same goes for blog, all the blog posts, marketing blog posts, personal blog posts, WordPress. If we scroll down, you see what is trending right now and it changes. And if you click on it, you go to the tutorial or blog post. Here you see an overview of the most recent tutorials and blog posts. You can change this overview really easily. Here I will show you a featured blog post and it is randomized, so if I refresh this, it is a different one. Here at the right, stay connected with the social counter, an advertisement, and if I scroll down, this sidebar sticks with us. I scroll down, I see the recent blog posts, all of them, or the personal ones, with the category WordPress, marketing, an advertisement within the page. Here I show you a featured tutorial. And here we have our sidebar with the social counter, recent posts and recent tutorials. Here I show you the recent tutorials filtered by category. Or I show them all. And here we have our follow us on Instagram element. I have this on every page. So if I go to a different page, you will also see it. Our footer with our recent blog post over here and our recent tutorials. And if I go to a blog post, the layout looks like this. I can scroll down, I see the breadcrumb, I see the categories, the title, the author, the date when it was published, how many views, how many comments. You can share it on Facebook. Here we have the sidebar that is sticky. So if I scroll down, you see it sticks with us. You can share it over here with Facebook, Twitter, Google, Pinterest. Go to a previous article or to the next article. Some information about the author. You can see related articles or more from the author. I will show you how to change this so it will show 3 or 6 or maybe 9 related articles. And if I click on the tutorial, I have a different look and feel. It looks like this, a beautiful video over here, the categories, the title, the author, the date, how many views, how many comments, an advertisement. You can share this. You have related articles, and here below you have more information about the tutorial and the sidebar with the social counter, recent post and recent tutorials, which is sticky again. I will show you how to create an about page with the T-decomposer that is used with newspaper, or a contact page. And the great thing about this theme is that newspaper does all the hard work for you. You just have to configure it and then newspaper will do all the hard work. And I will show you step by step how you can configure this amazing WordPress theme to your wishes. You can create websites like these, or a totally different look and feel. About gadgets. You see every website has their own look and feel. It is amazing what kind of different things you can do with this newspaper theme. News website, a video website with all kinds of videos. If you like what you're seeing so far, please like this video and subscribe for more upcoming videos. Let's get started. I want to be upfront with you and tell you what we are going to do and what you need in order to get to do what we are going to do. In order to get a website online, you need to have a domain name and web hosting. A domain name is around $12 per year and web hosting around $8 per month, but I can give you some discount. We're going to install WordPress. WordPress is totally free. We're going to use the newspaper theme, which costs once $59. And you need to create a website. And that costs nothing because I will show you how to create this amazing website. In comparison with hiring a web developer, this is a really good investment to make. So let's get started. So the first thing we need are a domain name and web hosting. In order to get that, let's go to webhosting124.com. It will redirect us to HostGator. I host all my websites here at HostGator. The great thing about HostGator is that the servers are fast, so the website will load quickly. You have 24/7 support through live chat, or you can call them. And I have to say, everything works really easy. So if you want to have web hosting through HostGator, let's click on web hosting over here and you can choose 3 plans. This plan we can forget. We don't need this for the website we are going to make. We need to make a choice between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. And what is the difference? A hatchling plan is for if you want to have only one website. You see over here it's for a single domain and you pay around $4 per month. If you want to have more websites than one, then the baby plan is for you. You get the baby plan for around $6 per month and you can have unlimited domains. So if you buy 10 domains, you can create 10 websites on those domains and you still pay only $6 per month and you pay for the domain you buy. So if you want to have more websites, then the baby plan is for you. If you want to have only one website, then this plan is for you. And remember, you can always upgrade later. So I will start with the hatchling plan for one single domain. I sign up now and we can enter a domain name. If you have one already, then click over here. If you want to register a new domain, then click over here. Enter your domain name. If I say I want to have facebook.com and I press enter, it will say Facebook is unavailable because facebook.com already exists. So I want to go for newspaper 8. That's the version we are going to work with. And it's still available. Newspaper8.com is still available. It costs $15 for a year, but I will show you how to get discount. So I scroll down. I can also choose different options, but I don't need those. I only want to have the .com version. If you really want to have a certain domain and the .com version is already available, then you can choose for the .net or the .org, but I recommend you use the .com version. Scroll down, domain privacy protection, I don't want it. If you want that, that means that nobody can see your address and all that stuff. So I uncheck it, so people will see this. My name, my street, my phone number, and my email address. And if I protect it, they will see the information of HostGator. I have no problem with this, so I scroll down. Again, the hatchling plan and the billing cycle. The longer the billing cycle, the more discount you get. So if you have it for 36 months, you pay only around $4 per month. If you have 12 months, then you pay $6 per month. And with 6 months, you pay $11 per month. I choose for 6 months, but I don't have to pay $11 per month because I have a discount code. You can use it also, and that will give you great discount. I like to choose at least 6 months, and my username, it will be FerdyCorp. My security pin 1234. If I call the customer support, they can ask for this PIN code to verify it is me, 1234. And here you need to fill in your details. You need to fill in your email address and some other information. Important is that the email address you will fill in over here you have access to. So in my case it is newspaper. And then you need to fill in some other details. The payment type can be credit card or PayPal. I choose credit card, so I fill in my details. And I can say I'm an individual or I'm a business. My business name. And if I filled it in, I scroll down and there are additional services. I don't need these, so I uncheck them all because I have WordPress plugins that can do the same thing and I don't have to pay for that. So I uncheck everything and then we need to pay $80.70, but I can give you a coupon code that gives you extra discount, at least 30%, which is FerdyCorp. And if you validate it and you scroll up and you uncheck website security, it is not $80, but it's only $51.98. And when you use this coupon code, you get extra discount and I get a commission. And in that way, you support my YouTube channel. So thank you for that. You've agreed to everything. You can check out now. And it says, get ready. We're setting up your account. So I go to my email address and here you see, thank you for choosing HostGator and the important email, your account information. I click over here and we can go to our control panel. I click over here and I can log in with my username and with my password. And I log in. Over here, you can change your password if you want to. And I want to go to WordPress one-click installation. So I click over here. I close these now. And I want to install WordPress on the newspaper domain. I can choose to install it at newspaper8.com / and then a certain directory. I want to install it on the root, newspaper8.com. So I click on next. My blog title, Ferdy and Anna traveling the world. My username, FerdyCorp, first name, last name, and my email address. I agree to everything. And I click on install. Right now it says the installation is complete. However, if I log in in a new tab. It says the site can't be reached. Why is that? HostGator needs to tell everybody in the world that this domain name is now active. It can take up until 20 minutes. It is now 15 minutes later. I will refresh it again. And what will you see? Our website is online. This is our backend. We are going to log in for our backend and we need login details and we can find those over here. My username is FreddyCorp. My password is this one. I log in and this is our backend. If I go to the front end, I hold Command and I click over here. This is the website everybody will see when they go to newspaper8.com at this moment. But we're going to make this a lot better. So I close this and this is the backend. Here we are going to edit a lot of things. So what will I do? I want to clean it up. I really don't like this way of displaying things. I want to clean this up. So I say I don't need help. I go to plugins and I'm going to select them all over here. I really don't like all this stuff, so I want to remove it by removing all the plugins. I click over here, bulk actions, deactivate all the plugins. And when I click on apply, you see all this stuff is gone. I select them again, one more time, bulk actions, delete them all, apply, okay. There they go. Now I go to the dashboard and it's a lot cleaner. I dismiss this message. I close this one, I close this one, and I close this one. And now if I take a look at the website again in a new tab, I see the title and the subtitle, and there's one sample post. If I click on it, I see over here at the URL /index.php 2017. I really don't like this stuff and Google doesn't like it. So I go and I close this and I go to settings, permalinks, and I change this, the custom structure, to post name, and I save it, and this is the best option for Google. So if I click over here, then I go to the website, and now if I click on Hello World, it looks like newspaper8.com /Hello World. This is what I want. So I'm cleaning things up. So I go to the backend, I go to the dashboard, and I want to remove the post. I click on the post, I click on trash, then I go over here to the trash, and I delete it permanently. I go to the dashboard again, to the page we have, the sample page, I bring it to the trash. I go to the trash, and I can also say empty the trash. I go to the dashboard, no more pages, no more posts. I collapse this, and this looks way better than this. There are a few more things I want to do. Right now, my name is FreddyCorp, and if I have a post, it says it is written by FreddyCorp. I want to display my full name, so I click on edit my profile. I can do the same over here at users, your profile. And I want to fill in my first name and my last name. And display name publicity as Freddy Korpershoek. And right now it is Freddy Korpershoek. And I want to create my own password. So I changed it to this one. You can confirm the use of a weak password. Update profile. And now I can log in with FreddyCorp and my own made password. I can change the colors over here, but I'll leave it as it is. I go to the dashboard, and if we take one more look, this is the website we have right now. And I really don't like it. In this tutorial, we are going to make use of the newspaper theme. And in order to get that, let's go to Freddy Korpershoek. You can find the link in the description. Go to themes, to newspaper, and click on more details. Here it is, newspaper, and I click on add to cart. Go to checkout. My first name, my last name, and my email address. Next, I can choose my own username, my own password. I'm not a robot. I don't want to sign up for stuff. I agree to everything. Create account and continue. My company name. I fill in all the other details. My UVAT identification number. And I go to the checkout. You can pay with credit card or PayPal. I want to pay with credit card. And over here I can fill in my stuff. There's a handling fee of $2, so the total is $61. Make the payment. And here I can download everything. So I click on download. And there it goes. So if I want to take a look, I go to Finder. And what you see, it is 56.9 megabytes. So this is not only the theme, this is also a lot else. So I open this. And here in this folder, you see the newspaper file. This is the theme you need to upload for WordPress. You can also go to newspaper, downloads, and click on download, installable WordPress file only. So now I go to the dashboard, I go to appearance, themes. I will add the theme. I upload the theme. I choose the file. I go to downloads. And this is the big file. And this is only the WordPress theme 13.8. And if I go over here, also 13.8. So it doesn't matter which one I take. I open it and I click on install now. And it says the theme is installed successfully. I want to activate the theme. And now I go to the theme panel. Really nice. And what I want to do first, in order to keep it clean, I go to appearance, themes. And the other themes, I want to remove them. So I go to theme details, delete, okay. Theme details, delete, okay. And the third one, okay. So if I go to the dashboard, this is really clean and this is really clean. We have a domain name with web hosting, we have a WordPress website installed, and we have the newspaper theme installed. If I refresh this, it looks like this. Right now my website is called 13 Anna Traveling the World. If I want to change that, I close this. I go to the backend, I go to settings, general. And here it says 13 Anna Traveling the World. And now I say WordPress tutorials. 30 Korpershoek. Learn how to create a website. I scroll down. The date format is fine. The time format is fine. The week starts on Monday. I save the changes. And now if I refresh it, you'll see WordPress tutorials for the Korpershoek. I go to the backend and I'm going to create a few pages. So I go to pages and click on add new. Or if I'm at the front end, I hover over new and click on new page. And the first one, of course, is the home page. I publish it and now we have the home page. A new page. I want to give tutorials, so I say tutorials. A page about tutorials. Publish. What else? A blog page. Add new. An about page. Add new. Contact page. And then I have a resources page. Resources. Publish. Add new, the latest one. I want to have a courses page. I also give courses. Publish. If I go to the front end, you still see no menu. So I go to the back end, I go to appearance, menus. And here I want to create my first menu. So I give it a name. I call it main_menu. You can give it a name you want. Visitors will not see that name. Create a menu. And now here at pages, we can select pages and add them to the menu. You can also select posts or custom links or categories. We don't have them yet, but you can also add that to the menu. I go back to pages, click on view all. I select them all and I add them to the menu. Here you see the home page with a custom link. I want to delete that one. Remove. So here's the home page. I drag it over here. After home comes courses, tutorials, resources, blog, about, contact. Those two we already have. So I remove it. I open it over here. I remove it. Here we can display the location, and it is the main menu area on the website. So if I check this and I save it and I refresh the page, you see this is our menu: home, courses, tutorials, resources, blog, about, contact. If you want to have a submenu, for instance, below courses, I want to have the submenu item tutorials. I drag this to the right and you see there's a tab over here. And if I want tutorials to have a sub item, I can drag resources below that. So I save it and this is how it looks. I go to courses, you see an arrow down. And if I hover over tutorials, you see resources. So in that way you can create a beautiful menu with dragging and dropping. Save it. We will create a mega menu, but for now I leave it as it is. So we have our menu over here. If you take a look at apple.com, you see no homepage. And if you go to iPhone and you want to go back to the homepage, you see no home, but you see the logo. So I want to do the same. I want to remove the homepage from the menu, so people can click on the logo and then they go back to the homepage. We don't have a logo yet, so let's go to the backend, to newspaper theme panel, and let's configure our website. We can choose our header style, but before we do that, I want to have a logo. So I click on logo and favicon, and I can upload a logo. So I click on upload and I go to my setting files, and here we have my logo. I have a blue logo, which is this one, a blue retina logo, and I have a white logo and a white retina logo and a favicon. So depending on the kind of menu I want, maybe I want to have a dark menu with a white logo, or I want to have a white menu background with a normal blue logo. I go for the blue logo for now. So I upload logo blue. Here's the title. I can optimize it. It's not necessary for a logo. And here I say I want the full size. I insert it into the post. And for a retina logo, it needs to be twice as high and wide as this logo. I have that one. Upload files. Logo blue retina. Open it. Insert it into the post. Here we have our favicon. It needs to be square. It can be 16 by 16, but it can also be bigger. I upload it. Upload files. Select files. Favicon. 250 by 250. I open it. I don't need to optimize it, and I insert it into the post. If I save the settings and I refresh our website, we see our logo over here and our favicon over here. Here we have some alt attributes. We can add a text over here for the logo. I don't do that. And also here, if you don't have a logo, you can have a text over here and a subtext over here. I don't use it. So I close this one. I open logo for mobile and I use the same logos. So this one I select it, and the retina version, this one. Close it. Save the settings. Now we have the logo. We can choose a header style. Right now you see logo at the left, banner at the right, and below you can see the menu. Logo at the left, no banner, and the menu below. If I change it to this one, you see the menu will be above the logo. Refresh. And now the menu is here above. So over here, you can see what kind of style you want to have. For instance, style 6, it gives us a dark background. Save the settings, refresh, like that. And then I can use the white logo. So what do I want? I want to have the logo at the left, the menu at the right, and I want to have a top bar. So I click on style 7 and I want to have a top bar. So if I disable it and I save it and I refresh it, I do not have a top bar. And if I enable it, I can choose a layout, and I can show social icons, sign in, show the date, even show the weather if I want to. I leave that and I save it and I refresh it. And now you see the date. I can log in, I can log out. I have no menu here at the right, I can have one. The logo and the menu. I like it. So let's configure this. I go to the theme panel. I want to show the date. I don't want to show sign in or join. I do want to show social icons, but I don't have them yet. And I do not want to show the menu because I don't have one. Save the settings and let's go to social networks here at the left. Social networks, and fill those in. I have Facebook over here. So I go to Facebook. And I grab this link. And I paste it over here. I have Instagram. I copy the link and I paste it. I have LinkedIn, so I go to LinkedIn. I copy this link and I paste it. And YouTube, of course. YouTube. So I copy this and I paste it. I save it. And if I refresh it, you don't see the login and logout anymore. You see the date and you see the social icons. So in that way you can configure your header. You can do even more with it. I go back to the theme panel, to header, to the top bar. You can change the layout. You can have the social media icons at the left, like this. Or show things a different way. I like this one. Show no menu. I save the settings and now I want to change the colors. So I go to theme colors. I go to the top menu and I can change the background color to this color. I have a color picker from Google Chrome. I copy the color of the logo and I paste it over here. The color of the text will be white. Social icons color also white. The hover color can be a little bit less white. Like that. Save it. Refresh it. And now it looks like this. I hover over it, it becomes a little bit gray. I have to do one more thing. If I go to the social icons, I need to make them white. Save it, refresh. So this header area looks quite nice in my opinion. We'll take a look at the font later. I leave it as it is. I go back to header, the header style we did, the top bar and the main menu. Here you can choose your menu. And if I scroll down, the menu is gone. I can make it sticky. So if I go to sticky menu, I can say always sticky and logo on sticky menu. Do you want to show the logo when you scroll down? Yes. So I say show the header logo. The mega menu preloader, that means if you have a mega menu, for instance, you hover over here and the mega menu appears, does it need to load when you hover over here or do you want to preload it? So you can say preload all. I like that. And then this is okay. The logo and favicon we did already, and this we did already. This I leave it as it is. I save the settings, refresh, and now if we scroll down, the menu sticks with us. Really nice. Now let's go to the footer settings. I scroll up, I go to footer, and if we scroll down, we can see the footer with the editors pick popular posts, popular category, our logo, about us, and follow us. I can hide the footer if I save it and I refresh it. It is gone, but I want to show it. And there are different templates. We'll take a look at this later. Right now it's this one, but if I would say style 5 and I save the settings and I refresh it, So if you take a look now, it is gone. We have our logo, about us text, and the follow us social icons. If I click over here, I go to Ferdy Korpershoek on Facebook. So those are the same as over here. So that's really nice. If I want to change this logo, I go to the theme panel, I scroll down and I go to the footer info content. And here I can upload a logo. And instead of a blue one, I want to have a white one this time. So I go to the white logo. I insert it into the post and the footer retina logo. Also a white one, but this time the retina logo, which is twice the size of the normal one. Insert. And I save it. I can say info@newspaper8.com and here's my footer text. And I can say, I leave it at that and I save it. And if I refresh it, you see a white logo, about us, the text and the follow us. For now I like it. Later I will talk more about the footer area. We have this area over here. I want to take a look at that. So I close this. The subfooter settings, I want to show it. The copyright text is there already. So I say 2017 Ferdy Korpershoek, all rights reserved. Maybe I want to insert a link over there. How can I do that? I open a new post in a new tab and I say web design Ferdy Korpershoek. I select this, I make it a link, http ferdykorpershoek.com, enter, I go to the text tab, so this is HTML code, I copy it, I close this, and I paste it over here. I save it, and I refresh it. Now you see 2017 Ferdy Korpershoek, all rights reserved, web design Ferdy Korpershoek, and this is a link. Really nice. Maybe I want to show something else here at the right. For instance, the menu. I only have the main menu, so I do that for now. I save the settings, refresh, and then it looks like this. So in quite a short time we made the header area and the footer area. If you want to adjust it, you can go and close this, take a look at the footer background. You can upload an image and use it as a background. For instance, this one. Save it, refresh, and then it's in the middle. And I can say I want to tile it horizontally or to both sides. I want the image to cover the area. I want it to be in the center. Save it, refresh. Then it looks like that, really ugly, but I just want to show you what is possible. You can change the opacity, for instance, 0.5. Save it, refresh. So now you see it's half transparent. I want to remove the image. Yes. And at the color section, we can change the color of the background. There's one more thing, the Instagram settings. I want to show that. And I just have to fill in my name, Ferdy, and photography. In this case, I want to show 8 images and 1 row, no image gap. And if I save it and I refresh it, it looks like this. You see a few images, really nice for a blog website. So I don't have to do anything. The only thing I need to do is fill in my details over here, my ID. And if I click over here, I go to our Instagram link. And if I click on a photo, I go to that photo. And you see it on every page. So if I go to the About page, you see it also over here. Same as the footer and the header. So this is really great. I scroll up and the ads I will skip for now. I go to the template settings. You see a few options here, smart sidebar, breadcrumbs, image loading, but because those are things that apply to content and we don't have content yet, I will take a look at this later. We can take a look at force full white. Right now, you see this is the left area of the website and this is the right area, a kind of the invisible border. So if I make this smaller, command minus, 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 you see this is the left border and the right border. But what I can do, if I go to the backend and I go to force full white, I can say I want to stretch the container and the content for the header and the logo, for the top bar and for the menu. So I save the settings, and right now if I refresh it, you see it goes to the left and this goes to the right. So even if I make it smaller or bigger, it stays totally at the right and totally at the left, and that's what the force full white does. I bring this back, no stretch, no stretch, and no stretch. Save it and refresh, and now it will be over here again at the left and over here at the right. But that's an option, you can do that if you want to. I press command 0 and it will be back at 100%. Before we go on with all the other settings, I want to create a first blog post because those options apply to blog post. So how to get a new blog post? You can go to posts, add new, or if you're in the front end, you can hover over new post. So I'm going to create my first blog post. I will duplicate my website I have, which is Ferdy Korpershoek. And if I go to blog, my first blog post, I will use this blog post. So just to get started, I will call this title No Way Back. We have the text editor and a visual editor, and in the visual editor you will see immediately how it will look. So I can start writing, I love WordPress. So I have a alinea over here, a paragraph, and let's take a look. If I press enter, you see it skips a row. So I could say no way back. And if I press enter again, you see it skips a row again. So I can type a new alinea over here. And let's see how it looks. So for now I want to publish it. I click on publish. And if I open the website right now, you see our first blog post. You see where we are, home, blog. The title No Way Back by Ferdy Korpershoek on the 19th of July 2017. No comments yet. And this is the text. I love WordPress, it's absolutely amazing. And when I pressed enter over here, you see there is a skip of a row. And here is a new paragraph. When you press enter, you start a new paragraph. So after this title, I want this to be a title, I pressed enter again and there came a new row over here. Well, every alinea can be styled in a different way. So if I go to the post and I click on the title, I want this to be a title, a heading, I click over here and this is a whole paragraph. So even though I click only over here, if I want to change the style, for instance from paragraph to heading 2, you see this whole text becomes heading 2. Same goes for this alinea, for this paragraph. If I click over here and I say header 1, the whole alinea becomes a header 1. So if you want to start a new alinea, just press enter. And if you want to have a title, you can type your title over here, press enter, start a new alinea. Then you click over here, select heading 2, and you update it. And now if you refresh it, you will see this is a new title, a heading, this is a alinea, and this is new title, and this is a new alinea. What else can we do? Maybe there's an important word I want to highlight. For instance, this one, WordPress. I can click on bold and it will become bold. Maybe I want to highlight since 2011 and I want to make it italic. Then I click over here. Maybe I want to give something a color and I want to make it bigger and I want to make it bold. Then I can select the word. I can say Command or Control B and then it will become bold. You see the shortcut over here, in my case Command B. And if I click over here, I can toggle the toolbar, so I get more options. And I can change the color to red. And if I update it and I refresh it, you see it looks like this. So we can make it bigger, we can make it italic, we can even add a link. So for instance, software, I select it. I can click on the link icon and I can say, if you click on software, go to http://software.com. I can click on enter and then it will be a link, or I can click on the link options and I can make it open in a new tab, or I can redirect it to a different page, to the about page, and I can update it, and I update and I refresh. And if I click over here, I go to software.com. You see the software link color is this color automatically, and I want to change that. How can I do that? I want to grab this color because that is the color I want to use. Command copy. I go to newspaper, theme panel in a new tab. I go to theme colors, general theme colors. I change this blue color to this color. I save the settings. I close it, and if I refresh it, you see this color becomes the same color as the header and the logo. And also the color of the link is now this color. So that's amazing. That's what you can do with the editor. So what else can we do? I edit the post. I can click over here and I can add media. So I click over there and I can add a logo if I want to. For instance, this one. I can insert it into the post. And you see it is now above the text. Maybe I want to inline it in this alinea. Then I click over here. And you see a few options. I can align it to the left. So now it is in the alinea. I can align it to the right. So I like it here at the right. And if I update it and I refresh it, it looks like that. Those are a few basic settings. Let's do one more thing. I go to a new header over here. I add some media, the logo, and I scroll down, and here I can say align it to the left, link to the media file or to nothing. And I want to change the size to a thumbnail. So it will be really small. Insert, update, refresh. And now it looks like this. So that is what you can do. And you will see it's inlined from the title on, because at this place we inserted the image. I will finish this blog post. And what I can do then, I can make it a format of standard. It's just a normal blog post. It's not a video. Right now it's uncategorized, but I can also create a new category, which is personal. This is a personal blog post of mine. And I can add the new category. I uncheck uncategorized and I can add a video, or I can add an image. I want to add an image, set featured image. I upload files. And before my YouTube channel was called Freddy Korpshoek, it was called WordPress King. So I go to the blog and I search for the right image. And here it is. I open it and I set the featured image. I update it and I refresh it. And now you see it over here. So I click on the title now. So I go to the blog post newspaper8.com/nowayback. And you see I'm at home, personal, no way back. The category is personal, the title by Freddy Korpshoek, July the 19th, 2017. It is watched 2 times, no comments yet. I can share this on Facebook, Twitter, Google or Pinterest. Here's the image, the text with the link, with the image. And I can share it here again. And here's some information about the author, which is me. And I can leave a reply because I'm logged in. If I'm logged out, I can still leave a reply. And other people that are not logged in can leave a comment if they want to. Let's take a look at this area. If you go to your profile and you say edit my profile, open it in a new tab, hold on command. You can change this text over here. I can say, my name is Ferdy. I have a big passion and everything else. Something like that. I update my profile. I close this. I refresh it. And now it says this. So you see, newspaper is doing all the hard stuff for us. It's putting it over here, my recent post. We have a few widgets we will take a look at later. Which categories? Here I have my Instagram stuff, some information about me, social media icons, my menu here at the bottom. If I click here, I go up again. So let's create our second blog post and then see what else we can do. So I hover over new, post, I close this, and my title is Good News. I start typing, and here it is. It is personal again, about my honeymoon and my wedding. I have a featured image. I upload a file. This is South Africa, our honeymoon location. And what I do to optimize it for Google, I remove all the dashes, copy it, and I paste it. And if you call your images on your website IMG001, Google does not know how it looks. If you search for IMG0001, you go to images, and you click over here, and you view the image, you see it's called IMG001. But if you search for Amy van Soest, you click over here, and you view the image, you see it's called Amy van Soest. So it's very important that the title of your image is in the image itself. So don't call this IMG001, call this South Africa, Cape Town, Table Mountain, WordPress, whatever you want, but let it be relevant so it will be found in Google easier. And put your text also in the alt text. That's also good for the Google search results. I set it as a featured image. Personal. And if I publish it and I go to the page, you see good news is here above and below is no way back. And what does it say? It is written July the 19th of 2017. Well, this is an old blog post, so I can also change the date. So if I edit the post, it says published on July the 19th, 2017. But if I edit this, I also can say December the 5th, 2015, when I was on honeymoon. So I say, okay, I update it. And now take a look over here. If I refresh it, it is the other way around. That's because WordPress orders this from old to new, but no way back is even older. So if I click over here, I close this, I click on edit the post, I bring this back, I edit it to May the 31st of 2015, and I update it. Now it will be here below again. What you also can do, you can also say, I want it to be published next week, July the 31st, 2017 at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay? And then you can schedule it. And if you schedule it and you refresh this, it is gone, but it will show up on the 31st of July, 2017. So I will bring it back to May the 31st, 2015, update. So that's what you can do with the timing. For now, I want to create a new blog post. So I hover over new, post, and this time it is not a personal blog. It is a blog post about a WordPress theme. It's the Enfold theme. The Enfold theme is the title of the blog post, or the amazing Enfold theme. If you're a subscriber already for a longer time, you know I love the Enfold theme. It's my favorite theme. I have to say I'm really impressed with this newspaper theme, and I will use it instead of Enfold on my new website because my website is news related. But I will make a blog post about the Enfold theme, and I will show you more stuff about creating a blog post. So I will start typing with the first alinea. If I could choose only one, Enfold is the way to go. I want to add a title, so I press enter over here. I go up and I say the best theme out there. And I put in the best WordPress theme out there, question mark. I select this and I say paragraph heading 2. Heading 1 can only be used one time on a page and it's the title. So I say heading 2, the best WordPress theme out there. What I want to do, I click over here, I add media, I upload files, I select a file. You know what, I will upload them all, those 4, Command A, open them. And when the picture is ready, I select it and I remove the dashes, copy it, paste it. Same for this one. Copy it, paste it. I deselect them all, except for this one. And here I can already say I want to align it at the left. In the thumbnail or the full size, I make it medium. I link it to nothing. Insert into the post. And here at the left it is. Over here I click on enter and I start typing my second alinea. So I want to highlight a few words to get it on the radar for Google. So Enfold theme, Command B, Enfold theme, not too much, don't over optimize it. Avia layout editor, Enfold layout editor. And here one more time, Enfold theme. This time it is not personal, so I add a new category, WordPress. And what I want to do now, I add the category, but I want to add a subcategory. So it is about WordPress, but it's about themes. So I create themes, and as a parent category, I say WordPress. Add a new category, and what you will see, you see themes is now a child of WordPress. So if I save this, and I go to the home page in the new tab, you see the amazing Enfold theme. And if I click on it, you see Home WordPress Themes. So it is now a child of WordPress. And in that way you can navigate really nicely through the website. And you see there are 2 categories, WordPress and themes. If I would click on WordPress, I will see all the blog posts with WordPress as a category. It's only one without an image. So I go back, I close this, and I close this. And I will add an image. Set featured image, upload files, select files. This one. Update. Let's take a look. Now you see it over here, but also if you click on it and you click on WordPress, you will see it over here. And you see the title, the author, and the date. What else? New alinea, and I say easy to configure. Enter when you install with content. I select it, make it header 2, like that. Enter and start typing again. I will finish the text of this blog post. So here is the text. I will select those areas, make them a header 2. Like that. I want to add a few images. I click over here, add media, click on this one, easy to configure, bring it to the right, and in medium size, insert into the post, like that. Then I scroll down, and here at 2-minute demo setup, enter, add media, the demos, in the center with the full size, insert into the post like that. And then here at the full screen slider, enter, add media, click on this one with the same settings, insert into the post. And then at latest, I go to a tutorial. So I go to YouTube. I search for 30 Korpershoek, Enfold. I click on this one. I want to share it, embed, copy the code. I go to text, I scroll down, and here I paste it. Then I go back to visual, and if I scroll down, you see the embed over here. So I update it, and I want to take a look. How can I do that? I click on view post. So I go directly to the post, the amazing Enfold theme. Home, WordPress themes, the amazing Enfold theme. Categories, WordPress and themes. The title by Freddy Korpershoek on this day. The image over here. You see the sidebar at the right, it's sticking. The titles, images, and the video that you can play. And you can leave a reply. Well, that's amazing. I want to change the look and feel of every individual blog post. How can I do that? I go to the theme panel and I go to post settings. I open the website in the new tab. I go to the amazing Enfold theme and I click over here. I click on post and custom post types. Do I want to show the category tag? If I uncheck this and I save it and I refresh this, you see this area is gone. There are no more categories. So you can show and hide all kinds of things. I want to show the categories. I don't want to show the text, display order. I want to show the author, Freddy Korpershoek, the date, post views. If you're starting a website, then maybe you don't want to show that. So you can say, I want to hide that and this one, save it and refresh, and then it's gone. For the sake of the tutorial, I want to show you everything there is. So I leave this all on and I save it. Then I click on default post template. And right now it is this one. So if we take a look, you see information over here. Then you see the image. Then you see the text. And here at the right, you see the sidebar. Information, image, text, and the sidebar. What you also can do, go to the theme panel and change this to something else. For instance, this one, style 3. Save the settings, refresh, and now every blog post does look like this, which is quite nice. What I like to do, I would say, play around with all these settings. For instance, this one, save settings, refresh, and now it looks like this. But I like style 6. So I select that one, save it, and then it looks like this. If I scroll down, I just think it looks nice. Home, WordPress, all this stuff, it looks amazing. You can share it. Here starts a sidebar, and if you scroll down, it still sticks with us. So I think this is the way to go for me. And even if I go to a different blog post, good news, it looks exactly the same. If I go to a certain blog post and I say edit the post, I can individually change all kinds of things over here at the post settings. For instance, I can say I do not want to have a sidebar. So sidebar position, no sidebar. Update. View the post of good news. And now if you scroll down, we don't have a sidebar. But if I go to blog and I go to no way back, I do have a sidebar. So even on individual posts, you can change a lot of things, which gives you a lot of possibilities. I go back to the theme panel. You can say, I want to hide the featured image. You can hide it. Right now it says show featured image, which is this one. You can uncheck it and then hide it. Here below, related articles. If I scroll down, you see related articles, good news. I can uncheck it, save it, refresh, and then it will be gone. I like it. That's the power of this theme, related articles. if somebody finished reading the blog post, he should read a new one because we have more valuable information for that person. So show related articles by category or by tag. I like by category. And you can show one row between 3 and 5 posts or 2 rows. It's up to you. I leave it at 1 row for now. Sharing options. Here at the top, you can share it. You can also turn it off and only show it here at the bottom. So if I save the settings and I refresh it, it's gone. I have to say I like the colors only, and I don't know, it's okay with me like that. Bottom article sharing, yes. Bottom article like and tweet, yes. And my username is Ferdy Corp. Save it, refresh. So I can say tweet it, and then in that way you can tweet it. So that's how it works. Also with Facebook, you can share this. I close this. More article box. How do you want to show it? I want to show it like that. I save the settings. And now if I refresh it, what will happen? Here at the right, you see more stories. So here it is not. And if you scroll down, then it appears over here. You can also change how it looks. For instance, this one. Save it. Refresh. Now it's smaller. I turn it off for now. You can turn this on if you use a cache plugin. If you don't use a cache plugin, you don't need to turn it on. Save the settings. And that were the post settings. I go to the home page. Right now you see the latest blog post. And if you go to the blog page, you don't see them. How can I change that? I go to the backend, to settings, reading. And I want the home page to be a static page. So not show the latest post, but show the home page. And the home page we will make later. And the post page will be blog. So I select it. It's the page we've created ourselves. Save the changes. So now if I go to the home page, you see nothing. Only this. And if you go to the blog page, you see the most recent blog post. So that's really nice how that works. So with the same principles I created the first 3 blog posts, I will create a few more blog posts. So we can take a look at a few different settings. I added a few blog posts, so if I refresh it, take a look over here. Here you see a few more blog posts. There are quite a few blog posts added. Now I have a total of 6 blog posts. So what we can do now, we can take a look at the settings. I go to the backend. I go to newspaper, theme panel. And we go to the template settings. Let's take a look at the smart sidebar. What does it mean? If I scroll down, you see the lowest widget will stick. If I scroll up, the upper widget will stick. Really nice. So if I turn this off, I save it and I refresh it, it will stay on top. You see there's nothing here. So I want to turn it on. And then let's take a look at the breadcrumb. If I scroll up, you see we're at home blog. Also here blog. If I go to about, I'm at home about. If I go to a blog post, I scroll down and here I see home marketing, making money through YouTube. This is the title. This is the category as you see over here, and this is the homepage. You can adjust it if you want to. I like this because you can navigate through the website really easily on every page. If I go to contact, I see where I am. But if I go to the best WordPress themes of 2017, you see home, WordPress as a category, themes as a subcategory, the best WordPress themes of 2017. Really nice to navigate through the website. If I want to adjust it, I can do that over here at template settings, breadcrumbs. I can turn it off, or I can say hide the home link. So if I save it and I refresh it, no home, only WordPress themes and title. I can hide the parent category, so you won't see WordPress anymore. You only see the subcategory themes and the title, and you can even remove the title. I like to turn it all on, so on every place in the website people can see where they are in the website. And if they click on WordPress, they see all the blog posts that has something to do with WordPress. Maybe you think this looks weird. We'll take a look at this later. So I go to the backend and I close breadcrumbs and I go to the image loading animations. If you turn this off and you save it and I go to blog and the amazing Enfold theme, you see images over here and you see they are just here, no animation. But if I turn it on, I can have a fade effect or a fade and scale effect. I save it, I scroll up, I refresh it. And now if I scroll down, you see it appears. It scales and it fades in. So that's really nice. I like the effect. So I leave it as this and I close this. Forest full white, we discussed it already. And here we have a lot of WordPress templates. The 404 page. What does it mean? If I go to a page that does not exist, for instance this one, it says, oops, error 404, sorry, but the page you are looking for does not exist. You can go to the home page and then here it says our latest post. There are 6 posts and you see them over here. Maybe I don't like this way of displaying things at the 404 page. Then I can change it. So here at the 404 template, I can change the article display view, for instance, to this one. I save the settings and now if I refresh the page, it looks like this. You see them all below each other. Or you take this one. So that's what you can do with all these templates. I bring it back to this one, save it, and I close it. And the same goes for the archive pages, the author page, the WooCommerce template, all these things. For instance, if I search for something, Enfold, search, also really nice, you see it already. It looks like this. You see it here at the left and right, you see a sidebar. And what I can do, if I go to the search template, I can even change the sidebar. I can say I don't want to have a sidebar. And if I save it and I refresh it, there's no sidebar anymore. Or I can create even a new sidebar and I can call it search. I create it and then I can put some widget in it. I'll take a look at widget later. So that's what you can do. Let's go to the categories. If I go to Enfold and I go to the amazing Enfold theme, and here I see WordPress and I click on WordPress. This is a category. You see newspaper 8 category WordPress. I have only 2 posts. Maybe I should take a look at a different category. So I go to blog, personal. I click over here. Now you see 3. And what can I change? I can change the header, which is this area, for instance, to this one, save it, refresh. And now you see this over here. You can also change it to style 7, save it, refresh. And you see a title like that. I bring it back to the normal one, but we also can change this area over here. So the category top post style, I can change it to a grid 8. It's a kind of masonry, but we still only have 3 posts, so that does look a little bit weird. So what I like to do, 3 in a row like that, and now it should be fine. Personal with 3 posts. Below you see the sidebar, and you would have more posts if you would have a 4th post. So if I would say show only 2 posts, then the 3rd post will be here below. like that, in a grid. So what I can do, I will do that right now. I will change the categories. So I go to the backend and I want to have one category that contains all the blog posts. I will also create tutorial posts and I want that to be in a tutorial category. So I want to have a blog category which contains all the other blog posts. How can I do that? I go to the backend, to post, categories, and I will create a new one which is called blog. I add the new category. And now if I go to marketing, marketing is a child of blog. Update, go back to categories. Personal is also below blog because there are personal blogs. Update, go back to categories. WordPress is a child of blog. Update, back to categories. And what you will see now, WordPress is a child of blog, but themes is a child of WordPress. So it's kind of a grandchild of blog. So what will happen now if I would go to category, blog, enter? You should see all the blog posts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 in total, so these are all the blog posts. So now I can take a look again at newspaper, theme panel, and I go to categories. And I could say I want to have 3 in a row. And below, I want to have them like this. Here at the left an image and at the right the title and the text. So then it will look like this. 3 posts over here. Here the image at the left, title at the right and the text. And then here we have a sidebar. And if we go to a different category, for instance blog, making money through YouTube, marketing, you see it actually the same way, only there are not much blog posts. But what you also can do, you can change it individual. I will take a look at it later. Now I want to take a look at this thing. If I go back to category blog, right now you see the latest blog post, April the 25th, 2017. I can also say randomize it. And now if I refresh it, and again, you see it's randomizing every time. Or show the featured post. You can have this. If you don't want to have this, go to the backend, go up, category pull down filter, turn it off, save the settings, and refresh. So maybe I want every category to be shown like this, except for the blog category. What can I do then? I go to the theme panel, I scroll down, and now I go to the category settings, blog. And here at the right, I have an arrow, and now I can change it. So I can say I want to have a masonry grid, grid 8, save the settings. And now when I'm at blog, I will see a masonry like this. But if I go to personal, you'll see those 3 and then the blog post below. So in that way you can style all the categories individually over here. One more thing I want to show you. Over here you see a sidebar. Also when we go to blog, you see a sidebar over here. If you go to the global settings or individual settings, over here you can have pagination style, or you can have a custom sidebar. If you say I don't want to have a sidebar and you save it, then this sidebar will be gone everywhere. I go back and I will take a look at the sidebar later. So I close this for now. I close this. And maybe I want to change personal. I can do that individually with this category. So that's how it works. If you create a new category, it will appear over here and you can style it individually. We already discussed the post settings. So let's go to the blog settings. I have to say I don't use blog header templates yet. So we will discuss it if we use it. I can go to the background and I go to the home page. There's no background. It's a white background actually. But if I want to upload a background, I can upload it here. I can use this as a background, insert it, save the settings, refresh. And now you see background here at the left. If I press Command minus minus minus, you see the background is only shown once. Maybe I want it to cover the whole website. Command 0, and I say tell it position is from the center, and it will be fixed. You know what? I stretch the background, save the settings, refresh, Command minus minus minus. But because it's stretched right now, you will see it all the time, so it does not change. So that's what you can do with the background. I don't want to have a background in the website, so I remove it. No repeat, no stretch. Maybe I want to have a background for the mobile. I can upload it here, and the same principles apply. And also here I can have a background for if somebody signs in. I think this is all fine, so I save the settings and I go to excerpts. What are excerpts? Excerpts are portions of text that appear on a blog page. If I go to good news and I scroll down, I see related articles and I see the whole title. If I want to change that, I scroll down to related post module, and the title length can be only 3 words. Save it, and I refresh it. Now you see only 2 words. No way back is here, no way, and 1000 subscribers, and the new website is now 1000 subscribers. So here at the related articles, I can change the amount. And if I remove it, and I save the settings, you see the whole sentence again, the whole title. So at every module, module 1, you can change the title length. Well, I don't see a reason why I should change it, so I leave them all as they are. But if you want to change it, you can click on it and you can change the title length. I go to translations and I really like this part of the website. I can change this website to Dutch in no time. Right now you see home. You see by Verdikorpszoek, which is English. You see the date in English. You see share on Facebook, tweet on Twitter. Everything is English. Related articles, more from the author. Previous article. And what I can do, I can change the website, and this is a really big thing in the newspaper theme, because at other themes you have to do it manually. It's a hard thing to do. And here you can just load a different language. I go for Dutch. Over here, I say load translations, yes. And here you see everything in Dutch, and you can even change it. I save the settings, and now if I refresh the page, you see door Verdikorpszoek. You see this in Dutch, this is in Dutch. Last article, next article. Related articles, more from this author, follow us, everything is now in Dutch. This is in Dutch, this is in Dutch. So that's really amazing about this theme. So pick a language you want to have. And if I'm bringing this back to English and I load the translation, I say yes, I save it. I still can change things. For instance, related articles, if I refresh it, it is English again. I can search for related articles and I can say, hi mom, how are you? I save the settings, refresh, and it says now, hi mom, how are you? So this is what you can do. Save it. So in a few small moments you can change the translation of your website or adjust the text on your website. I go to the theme colors. Here's the biggest one, the general theme colors. I have this color. And if I take a look at the website, maybe there are a few things which I want to change in color. How can I do that? I go to the top menu, We did this already. I changed the background color to this color. You can also change it to a different color. Save it, refresh it. Now it looks like that. So that's the place where you can change all the colors. I bring it back. I go to the main menu. I can change the background. And then I can make this text white. It will be white, but if I hover over it, it will be a little bit gray. Save it, refresh. So the background, the text, and if I hover over it, it will be gray. I can select it, clear it, and everything will be normal again. The submenu, we don't have it, but you can change the colors. And what I like to do, everywhere this color pops up, I want to place my color over here. So also here, blue will be transformed to the green blue. You can take a look here. What is it? Live search text color. So if you type over here, you can change that color. Save the settings, refresh. Now if I search, text is red. So that's how easy it is. You don't have to dig around in the code. You can just change it over here. This one is a little bit lighter. So that's amazing. This is interesting because over here we have the post title, which is good news. I can change it to the color of the website. And if I refresh it, it's this color. I like that. And also the headers. Right here we have no headers. If I go to blog, the amazing Enfold theme, I have titles over here. And I want to change them to the green color. So over here, the post H1 till H6, the header 1 till header 6, I want them to have this color. And at the pages, I want to have the same thing. The title can be green, green, blue. And this text can be also, and the header can also be green, blue. And maybe I want to change the text on a page. I can change it over here. I leave it as it is. So now if I refresh it, it will have this color. I like that. Let's go to the theme fonts. For instance, the menu over here, I think it's a little bit too bold. I go to the home page and I go to the header. And here you see a lot of options. The top menu is over here. I can make this bigger. So I can say the size should be 14. I save it, refresh. And now it is bigger, it is 14. I can change it to default, but I can also change the font family. So for the main menu, I want to change it to Open Sans. And I want to make it uppercase and I want to make it thin or light. Save the settings. So right now it's a different font, and if I refresh it, it is light like that. I like it. I want to make it a little bit bigger. And it's uppercase. I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I say 16, save the settings, refresh. Now it looks like that. I like it. It looks clean in my opinion. So that's great. What else? Of all the modules, you can change the font, the author, you can make it bigger. Maybe you think the author text is a little bit small. Over here you can make it bigger. Same goes for modules and blocks. You can change them all. Post titles, I want to bring them back to Open Sans. Open Sans. save the settings, refresh, like that. And I want to make the title a little bit smaller. I think it's too big. So I take a look over here, post title, default template. So style 6, open sans, style 6, make it small. Save it, refresh, and now it's really small. I was just checking if it is the right one. So I change this to 20. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Refresh. This is too small. I bring this to 35. And this is okay. Maybe it's a little bit smaller than before, but I think this is nice. You can make this bigger, this bigger, this bigger, smaller. You can do all kinds of things. I don't like this title. I think it's too bold. So also that I can change it. Let me see. Post content. H1. I will bring them all to open sans. I like that font. And the H2s, I make them a little bit smaller. Maybe 18. And uppercase. Save it. Refresh. Now it looks like that. I want to make them light and bigger. 22. And light. Save it. Refresh. So that's what you can do. I change the uppercase to default. And that's fine. You can do a lot of other things. Change the things in the footer. I save the settings and I scroll up. I skip the custom code for now and I go to Analytics. If you want to know how to create a Google Analytics account, click over here. I will paste my code. I save the settings and that's it. Social networks we did already. I leave this as it is. And you can import or export all your stuff. I don't want to do that, so I leave it as it is. So those were the newspaper settings of the theme panel. Let's take a look at the menu. I go to the website and here we have the blog. And if you click on the blog, you see all the blog posts. But I want to show a few blog posts in the menu already. How can I do that? I go to the backend, to Appearance, Menus, and I go to Blog. I open it over here. And what I can do now, I can make this category a mega menu. We made a category called Blog already with all the child categories. So if I select Blog and I save the menu and I refresh it, and now you see an arrow down over here, and if I hover over it, I see the most recent blog post. But I also have different categories. Right now you see all the blog posts. Now you see only marketing, personal, WordPress, and themes. So in that way you can have a mega menu, really simple to make. So that's what we can do. Over here you see a sidebar. Let's take a look at the sidebar now. I go to the backend. I go to Appearance, Widgets, and here you see the newspaper default with search, recent post, recent comments, and here you see search, recent post, recent comments. What do I want to show here? Widgets are small additions to your WordPress website that gives really nice information that you can choose. So you can show audio in your widget, you can show categories in your widget, archives, a calendar, meta information, recent comments. You can also download plugins and then add them to your sidebar. So I don't want the search widget. Why? I have it already over here. I want to have recent post. I don't need recent comments. The website is new, so there are no comments, so it looks a little bit weird. I will add it later. No archives. I like categories and I don't like meta information. So if I refresh it, I have the recent post and the categories. And if I scroll down, it won't stick. So I go to the theme panel, newspaper, theme panel. to template settings, smart sidebar, and I turn it on. Then I go to appearance, widgets, I refresh, and now it sticks with us. Nice. I want to add a new widget. How can I do that? I go to the backend, I scroll down and tag div, the maker of this theme, has a lot of widgets. So I scroll down and I go for the social counter. I click on it and it selects newspaper default. I add the widget. I drag it up so it will be the first widget. I open it and let me see. I remove the title. I scroll down and I go for Twitter. My Twitter ID is ferdycorp. My YouTube ID is YouTube ferdykorpzoek. My channel. And I want to grab this over here, copy it, and I paste it over here. I use Instagram, Ferdy Anna Photography, and open everything in a new window. I save it and let's see what will happen. I refresh it and you see this. I have 343 followers, 68 followers on Twitter, and my amount of subscribers with all a call to action. You can also show this a different way. So over here, if I scroll up, the style is default. I can also say style 6, full boxes, save it, refresh. So that looks quite nice. If you want to add Facebook, click over here. I have a different tutorial for that because it's more complicated, but I like this. If I scroll down, I see it. Now I don't see it because I have too much information. I could remove category, or I close this and bring this to the middle, refresh. So now you see it always, no matter where you are in the website. Even if you click on a title of a new theme, click here, then you still see it. What else can we do with the widgets? Let's scroll down. We can show an image, have a custom menu. We can have an advertisement here. Keep in mind that with Google AdSense you cannot use that. You cannot use Google AdSense in a floating sidebar. That's illegal. They can ban you for it. Here I have an ad box and I leave it as it is. I save it now and I go to newspaper, theme panel. I go to ads and I go for the sidebar ad. So I have my code of HostGator. I paste it over here and then I can say I can disable it on the desktop or disable it on landscape or portrait of a tablet or disable it on a phone. I leave it as it is. I save the settings. I go back to appearance, widgets, and now I click on the blog title. I remove the title. I leave the default one, normal background, normal text, and I want to select the sidebar as my ad spot. I don't want to have a title, and if I refresh it, I see the HostGator advertisement over here. I don't want to use categories anymore. How can I change that? I click on it and I say delete. I can create an author box if I want to. Or I can add a blog. So I click on it. I go to the newspaper default and I can give it a title, recent blog posts. Let's choose one, 11. Limit post number 5, save it, refresh. And now it looks like this. So you see the blog post in the sidebar. And there are a lot of different ways to display it. You can take a look at that. I want to remove it for now. I want to add my Instagram. How can I do that? I scroll down. Here you see Instagram. Add the widget. No title. I go to the tab Instagram. My ID, 30 Corpus hook. I want to show 3 per row in 3 rows. I don't have that much posts. Save it. Refresh. And here you see a few posts of me. So that's what you can do with the widgets. I go to the home page. So we have a nice header over here. We adjusted the size. We created a submenu or a mega menu. We have a logo. We have a sidebar with social media things, advertisements, follow me, a different Instagram plugin. Here we have a footer with information with this area, with this menu over here. We have a blog page with different blog. I showed you how to create things like this. And now I want to create a few pages. I start with a contact page. And I will show you how I can fix this. And I want to have a small text. And I want to have a contact form. So I edit the page. I go to visual. And I say, if you want to get in contact with us, please fill in the form below. Enter. I update it. I go to plugins, add new. I search for contact form 7. Press enter. I install it now, the first one. 1 million active installs. Activate it. And over here you see contact appearing. I copy this code. If you want to follow a tutorial about the contact form 7, please click here. I have a tutorial about that. For now I just copy this code. I go to the page, contact, edit page, and paste the code over here. Update, view the page, and now we have a contact form over here. We have the same sidebar over here. Maybe I want to change that. If I want to get rid of this, I edit the page. I scroll down. And here at the sidebar position, I say, I do not want to have a sidebar. So if I take a look now, you see no sidebar, but I do want to have a sidebar. So I go to newspaper, theme panel, to categories. I scroll down and here you see custom sidebar plus position. And I want to create a new sidebar. Over here, I can select the sidebar and I say sidebar contact, create. I bring this back to default. I save the settings. I go to appearance, widgets. And here you see a new sidebar which is called contact. I want to place a simple text over here. So I search for text over here. I select contact, add the widget. And I have no title. I just say newspaper 8. Shift enter W. newspaper8.com. I select this, I make this a link so people can email me, and I make this a link, and I make this bold. I save it, I edit the page one more time, I scroll down, I say I want to have a right sidebar, which is the contact sidebar. I update it, I view the page, and now I have this here at the right, and I can add one more thing or a lot more things. For instance, a new advertisement for contact, and I choose the sidebar, and I save it, and if I refresh it, it looks like this. So that's what you can do. If I click over here, I can send myself an email So that's how it works. What I also can do if I want to, I go to the widgets, text, and I make this bold. Refresh. So that's how you can make the contact page. Let's take a look at the about page. For the about page, I want to make use of the tag div composer. So I click over here. And although this tool is amazing for creating the homepage with all the news categories, you can also create a page with it. So we use rows, and in those rows we use columns, and in those columns you can add elements. This is a row with one column, and I can add an element. If we take a look at the row, you can split it in 2 rows or more, or different options. I leave it as 1 row. I want to stretch the row and content with paddings, and I want to take a look at the CSS. I want to change the background color to this one. And I go to general, and I want to add an element, and I search for text. Text with title. I drag it over here. I click on it, and I don't want to have a title. I want to edit the content. I can do that over here. I have a text over here, and I want to make this text white, like that. I want to select it, make it a heading 1. And I select it again, and I bring it to the middle. I click outside of the box, and here it is. If I save it over here, I can watch it. And now it looks like that. My goal is to help as many people as possible in their online business. And what I can do, if I want to, I click over here, I edit the content, I select the text so I can see it, I click over here, 1 backspace, and I enter, so it goes to a new alinea. And then over here, it looks like that. I like that. I want to add a new element here below. So I add an element, and I search for author box. There are 2 ways. I like this one. I drag it here below. Now it's still inside of this row. I want to drag it outside of the row. So I drag here to delete it. Yes. Then I want to add a new row. I can duplicate it. And then I close this. And I delete this. I click on the row, go to the CSS. I remove the background. I clear it. I add an element, and I go again for the author box. And now I drag it in a new area. And it looks like that. You see, there's no space over here. So I search for a new element, which is called empty space. I drag it over here. I click on it. General. I can say 50 pixels. Save it. Refresh it. And then it looks like that. I want to add a new area like this, so I clone it again. I close this. I clone this area. Yes. And this one I drag like that. I remove this, or I click over here. I edit the content. I click on text. I remove everything. I go to visual, and I paste this text like that. And this text, I select it all, and I make it white. Click outside of it. I add an element. Space, empty space. I drag it over here. 50 pixels again. And one more. Space. There. I save it. I refresh it. And this is the about page. My goal is to help as many people as possible in their online business. Ferdy Korpershoek. My name. A little text. A bigger text. And if I make this smaller, command minus, 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 you see the text is going over the whole white. If I want to change that, I go to the backend, I click on the row, and I bring this back to stretch row. So the row is stretched, but the text is in the middle, like that. Refresh. So again, here's the left border, the right border, and it's between it. If I make this smaller, the background is still over the whole white and the text is not. So this is the about page. I like it. Let's do the resources page really quick. It works the same way. Edit with TD Composer. I click on the row, make it 2 parts, add an element, title, text with title. I drag it over here. I click on it. I say get web hosting at HostGator or somewhere else. Edit the content. I have some dummy text over here. I click outside of it. I add a new element. I search for an add area, add box. I drag it over here. I click on it. I say get web hosting and I use sidebar and I save it. And I take a look. And then it looks like that. And if I want to have more things, I don't see the title over here. So what I can do, I click over here, edit content, enter, get web hosting at HostGator. I select this, paragraph heading 2. That looks better. And now I can duplicate this whole area. Like that. And then I can say, edit content, get the newspaper theme. And I can add a different ad over here. So that's how it works. And then you can have your own resources page if you want to. Save it. I close it. I refresh it. Okay, let's take a look at tutorials. I make blog posts, but I especially make tutorials. So if I click over here, you see nothing. You see the recent posts. And now I want to create a whole area that is all about the tutorials I make. If you go to YouTube and you search for Ferdy Korpershoek, you see 85 videos. Those are tutorials and I want to organize them in my website. So I create a new blog post, which is a tutorial, and I start with complete WordPress tutorial. I will make use of the visual editor. And if I take a look here, the format is video. This will be a video area in my website. So the category is a new category, tutorials. And I will make a child category, which is complete tutorials. And I put it under tutorials. So there it is. I can add tags, WordPress, Enfold, theme, HostGator. And I can add the featured video. So I paste it over here. It's a video from YouTube. And besides that, I add a featured image, upload files, select the file. I go to tutorials, WordPress tutorial for beginners. I open it, I can optimize it, but for the sake of the tutorial, I leave it. I set the featured image and I scroll up. Something like this. I can select a different post template, but I'll talk about that later. I publish it. And I want to edit something. It is from June 2015. It was about the 3rd when I posted it, so I changed it. And I view the post over here. And there it is, complete WordPress tutorial. Tutorials, complete tutorials. But I don't see the video. I want to see the video. How can I do that? I can edit the post again. And I can scroll down. And I can select style 11, update, view the post, and now you see it over here. Why is that? Because I set it as a featured link. So here you see the title, complete tutorial. It looks really nice. You can share it, and here is the text, and here you see the sidebar. I really like this way of displaying my tutorials, but if I take a look at the backend, I have to do that manually. At every post, well, I have 85 tutorials, so what I will do, I will keep the post template normal. And if you do the math, I have 6 blog posts and I have 85 tutorials. So the best thing I can do, I can go to newspaper, theme panel. I can go to post settings, default post template, and I can put it to style 11. I save it. So now if I go to blog and I click on a blog post, it looks like this. This is not what I want for the blog post. So what should I do? So I should go to blog and I should open them all in a new tab. Close this for now, close this for now, close this for now, edit them all. This is, in my opinion, the fastest way to work. And I scroll down and I select style 6, Control Tab, style 6, Control Tab, style 6. So now I have to change it only 6 times instead of 85 times. I scroll up, update, update. So I can close all this now. Now if I go to the home page and I go to tutorials, you don't see anything. So I go to the menu over here. I close the pages area and I go for the categories, which is tutorials, and I add it to the menu. I drag it here above and I close the tutorial page like that. And I select also here tutorials, save the menu. Let's take a look now. And here at tutorials, you see the arrow down and you see all the tutorials, the complete tutorials, and we can have different categories over here. If I click over here, you see category tutorials. There's only one right now. So in that way we can work on the tutorial area. If I click over here, it will have this look and feel. And if I go to a blog post, it will look like this. So that's amazing about the newspaper theme, the way you can work around this. So I go to new, post, and I create a new tutorial. So I call this one contact form 7. It's a video format. It is from tutorials. And then I add a new category, which is plugins, with the parent, tutorials, add new, set a featured image, upload files, select files. This one, set the featured image, the featured video, and some text over here, if you have that. Learn how to create a contact form within WordPress using contact form 7. The date, it was around July the 13th of 2015. Publish. And now if we take a look at the website, and we can go to tutorials, and you see both of them. One is a complete tutorial, one is a plugin tutorial. If you click over here, it's automatically in this style. I think this area is a little bit empty, so I can advertise here some stuff. So I go to newspaper, theme panel, ads. I go to the sidebar ad. I copy the code of HostGator, and let me see. I go to post template style 11, which is this one, and I paste this code. I can have a title, get web hosting. You can disable it again. I save the settings and I refresh it. And now it looks like that. So with a complete contact form tutorial, you can watch it. You can take a look at all the plugins or all the tutorials, and you'll see them here. So you see it starts to become really nice. I have to make a few more tutorials. I will place them and then I will come back to you. So I added over 20 tutorial posts. So if I refresh it right now, it looks like this. Looks okay. And if I go to tutorials, you see all tutorials, complete tutorials, e-commerce, email marketing, plugins, and web hosting. So a really nice overview. So if you want to take a look at tutorials, you can see what kind of tutorials you want to see. If you click on tutorials, you see this. I want to change this, so I go to the backend, theme panel, categories, and I go for all categories. The top style is that you see this. I want to change it to grid 2, and below I don't want to see this, but I want to see it like this one, or even better, this one. Save the settings, go to tutorials, and now this is the most recent one, and 3 other ones, and then it looks like this. You see the amount of comments, the date when it was added, the title. And if you hover over it, you can go to it. You see the video this way. You can share it. You see the title, the categories, related articles, more from the same author, some information. And here at the right, you see the recent posts. Maybe I want to change this. How can I change the sidebar of the tutorials? I go to the theme panel, to categories, and here, custom sidebar plus position. I want to create a new one, which is called tutorials. I create it. Now I go to appearance, widgets. Here it is, tutorials. Actually, I want to have the social counter over here. Tutorials, add the widget, no block title, block 6, and open them in a new window. I want to show block 1, latest tutorials, make it 10 posts, and I filter it on the category tutorials, so only tutorials will be shown. Sort by latest, no pagination, infinite load, save it, and now we go to newspaper theme panel again, to categories. I scroll down to tutorials. Here at the right I click, I scroll down and I say custom sidebar should be tutorials. At the right, category tag color, we can change it. Let's try something green. We can have a different background. Save the settings. So now if I go to blog, I see recent posts, but if I go to tutorials, you see the latest tutorials. Since I have a tutorial area, I want to add it to my sidebar widget, so I go to widgets, I drag the recent post down, and I scroll down. I add block 1, add newspaper default, I add it, and I remove this. This is all okay. I go to filter, I want to show only tutorials, and this is all fine with me. How many items do I want to show? 5. I save it. Now if I take a look at the website, recent posts and our recent tutorials. Maybe I do want to show it, then I can say most recent tutorials. I save it and I refresh. Most recent tutorials. And it looks like that. I could change the order to random or something else. So if I go to filter, sort order, latest or alphabetical, popular, featured, highest rated, random. So you can do a lot of things with it. I close it now. You also can create a new area, for instance tutorials or blog, then drag something in it, save it, and then go to a certain page, for instance contact, edit the page, and change the custom sidebar over here, but that's up to you. I like it, so on all the pages of my website where there is a sidebar, I see this recent post and most recent tutorials. I can remove most. So I go to widgets. Like that. I can also change the number to 10. Save it. So that looks amazing. And what I said before, if I go to a tutorial, it looks like this. And if I go to a blog post, it looks like this. And now you see over here the calendar. So if I want to show different things on blog posts, I can do that. And now I go to the homepage and I'm going to create a beautiful homepage. So right now we are going to create our homepage. Right now we are going to see the power of the TD Composer. So I click on Edit with TD Composer and the homepage will become an overview of all kinds of news items we have. We can add elements over here. I click over here and you can scroll and see what kind of news items you can show. You can show all kinds of grids, and the great thing is if I drag it over here, you can see the result immediately. And you can add different kind of grids. You can also change it. So I can say change the style to colors or rainbow. And if I want to see how it looks on the full page, I click over here and then I see it like that. And I can bring it back and then I can edit it. For now I will remove this. Yes. Add element. And I'm searching for the news thicker. I can drag it over here in the empty column. And this will give an overview of trending items. So people can see that and then they can click on it. I think that's really nice. So what else will we do? I want to add a grid below with an overview of a few blog posts or tutorials. So for instance, this one. I can drag it here below. And you see immediately how it looks. And if you click on it, as I said before, you can change the style. I like this one. Let's see how it looks. We have this over here and then this area. If you hover over it, it zooms in. I like it. What I can do after that, here I have a row. I can duplicate it. Yes, I duplicate it. So I have it here again. And I remove this. I drag it over here to remove it. And also the thicker. Yes. So we have an empty column here. I click on row. And I can change the layout to 3 areas. And in those 3 areas I can drag elements. But what I also can do, I can change it back to this one. And then this can be kind of a sidebar. So I go to elements, for instance, block 1. I drag it over here. And here at the right, I can have my sidebar. I can add my social counter over here. I click on it. And here I scroll down. And again, Twitter, Freddy Corp. YouTube, paste it. Instagram, Freddy Corpus Hook. Open in a new window, like this. And we can give it a title and say, stay connected. Below that I want to place an ad. So I go to add elements, I search for add, drag it over here below. I say get web hosting, and I select the sidebar again. I save it. I want to take a look. And that looks quite nice. So we have trending now. We have the most recent tutorials and blog posts. Here we have the same, so I want to change that. So I click over here and I give this a title, recent blog posts. You see it over here. We can change the look of the header. I like to keep it global. I can change this background to red, for instance. So I could say all the blog posts will be green. So if you see something green on the website, you see this is a blog post or something like that. That color, yeah. We can change the text color. It's now white. So this is all okay. I go to filter and I can filter only all the blog posts. So it will show only the blog posts, marketing, personal, and all these. So if I would say only marketing or only personal, it will show only the blog posts that are personal. I want to have blog, so everything below it, all the channels will also be shown. And if I go to Ajax, I can say Ajax drop down filter type, filter by categories, and this is what I like. Now I can say I only want to show the post in the category blog or complete tutorials. But you see, I also see complete tutorials. Well, this is about recent blog posts, so how can I fix that? I go to filter and I see blog is 22. So I say I want to show 22. So I see all and I see blog. Then I go to filter again, 21, 18, 19, 20. So I say 18, 19, 20. So I see blog, personal, and WordPress. I take a look again, and 21. So 21. I save it, I refresh it, I scroll down, now I see recent blog post in green with the categories blog, which are all of them. So I don't need to show this one actually, I can remove it. Refresh, personal, those three, WordPress, 2, themes, the same, so I can get rid of themes, which is 20, and marketing, which is only 1. I want to duplicate this. How can I do that? I click over here. Now it is here again. And this time it is not for blog posts, but it is for tutorials. So I'll say recent tutorials. I remove the color. The color of tutorials will be this one. And I go to the filter again. And now I say I want to show tutorials. But which ID do I want to show over here? 24, 29. So I say 24, 29, 31, 34. I save it and let's take a look. I refresh it. So this is what we have so far. And what I don't like is when I scroll down that this area does not come along with us. It's not sticky. How can we fix that? It's really easy. I go to the backend and I hover over a row. I click on it. Now over here it says extra class. And if I type in td-ss-row, it does a magical trick. Because if we refresh now and I scroll down, you see it sticks with us. So that's amazing because now it gives us a lot more opportunities. So what I want to do, I want to take a look at recent blog post and I want to add an area below that. So what I want to do, I want to clone this whole area by clicking this icon like that. Yes. So if we scroll down, we see a new area, and here I want to remove recent blog post like that. Yes. So here we have tutorials. So I click on it and I say recent tutorials. And here we have recent blog posts. So here I remove this area. Yes. So this area is the recent blog post and this area is the recent tutorials. If I save it and I refresh it, you will see this. We have a recent blog post, our sidebar, and recent tutorials and our sidebar. So what I want to do now, I have my blog area and my tutorial area. I want to have one big featured post over here below. Or you know what? Here above. So how can I do that? I add an element. Let me see if they have it. Maybe this one, blog 23. I drag it here above. I click on it and I go to filter. It should be from blog and it can be totally randomized. Random posts. So I save it. I scroll up, I refresh it. And if I take a look over here, it just grabs a random blog post. And it shows a few. I don't want that. So I go back, general, limit post is 1. And the title is featured blog post. Or random blog post. So I refresh it. And I want to have the same color as over here. So I click over here. I grab this color. And I paste it. Featured blog post and recent blog posts. I like that. I want to do the same over here. So I add an element, blog 23. So let me see over here. I click on it. I say featured tutorial, 1 post. I go to filter. I say only tutorials. And the sort order should be random. I save it and I refresh this featured blog post with this color, only 1, and then our recent blog posts. You see, this sticks with us. And if we scroll down to the future tutorial, you see a new area at the sidebar with 1 future tutorial, then the recent tutorials, and also this one sticks with us. You see, this is the same area as this one. What I also can do, I go to the theme panel to ads and I go for custom ad 1. I place the code over here of the advertisement. I go to the backend. What I want to do now, I want to clone a whole area. So I click on row, which is this whole area. I click on clone row. Yes. So now here appears exactly the same thing. I click on it again. I change the layout to this one. I remove this and I remove all the elements. So we have an empty column over here. I add an element, I search for add box. I click on it. I remove this. I search for custom add 1. I save it. I go to the website again. So I have this area. After that comes this advertisement. It's all really close to each other. So how can I fix that? I add an element which is called empty space for over here. I click on it. I say 50 pixels. Save it. Another one below. And I drag this one below. I click on it. Again, 50 pixels. I save it. I refresh it. So now it looks a lot better. Maybe I should give it even more space. So that's nice. It sticks with us until here. And if I go here, it's about tutorials. This sticks with us, but we have the same information over here. So what I can do over here, if I want to, I go to the backend. I remove this one. I remove this one. And I can also search for a widget area. So I go for the widget sidebar. I drag it over here. I click on it. And I can select the sidebar, the newspaper default, save it, refresh it. We see the advertisement here. Here stops the sticky sidebar. And here we see the right sidebar, the future tutorial, and the most recent tutorials with the categories. So that's what we can do with the home page. I like it so far. I want to do one more thing. If I scroll down, I see the footer area and we can have 3 more widget areas over here. So I go to widgets in a new tab and I want to edit this with TD Composer. Why do I want to do that? If I go to elements and I go to blocks, you see block shortcodes. You see how they will look like. This is one big one and a few small ones, 2 big ones, 4 small ones. So here you can see what kind of block you want to add to the sidebar widget if you want to, or to the footer widget. So if I go to widgets and I go to footer 1, I can put something over here. For instance, block 1. So let me see, which block do I want to show? Maybe block 21 or block 7. Let me try block 7. I click on it. It goes to footer 1 and I say recent blog posts. I go to filter and I say filter category, blog. I save it and I take a look at the website. Recent blog post. I really like this way of displaying things. So what do? I go again to block 7 to footer 2, add widget, and then I say recent tutorials. And I go to filter, I go to tutorials, save it, refresh, and now it looks like this. We can have a third area, but maybe we can also do something else. We go to the theme panel, to footer, and we can choose style 7. I save the settings, I take a look at the website, I scroll down. Now we see recent blog posts. Those are here. Recent tutorials are spread over 2 areas. So here I can use a different block. So if I go and I take a look at the different block options, maybe I like block 15. So then I can go back to the widget. I remove this one. And I go for block 15 for footer 2, add the widget, recent tutorials, filter, tutorials. And here it says limit post number and I make it 6. Save it. Let's take a look. And now it looks like this: recent blog posts, recent tutorials, my logo, about us, and follow us. So if we take a look at everything, we have a beautiful homepage with a nice header, a logo, a beautiful mega menu, and with all kind of categories in the menu. Same goes for a blog. We have a trending now element, and if you click on it, you go to that blog post or tutorial, an overview with the most recent items, the featured blog post. Here at the right we have a social counter and advertisement, and if we scroll down, it sticks with us. Here we see the recent blog post of all the categories, or only personal, or WordPress, or marketing. We scroll down, you see the sidebar stops over here. We scroll down even more, we have a future tutorial. Here we have a sidebar with a social counter, recent posts, recent tutorials. Here below we have recent tutorials filtered by category, complete tutorials, plugins, or web hosting. We have more advertisements here. A follow us on Instagram element, which will be on every page. And this will be on every page in the footer, recent blog posts and recent tutorials. You can go to them. If you go to a blog post, the layout looks like this with the image. This color means that it's a blog post. We have a nice breadcrumb over here, the title, the author, the date, how many times is it watched, how many comments. You can share it, you can read it. Here at the right we have a sidebar that is sticky, so it sticks with us. About the author, you can go to a different article. We have this on every page. And if you go to a tutorial, the layout looks like this. A video over here, the categories in the blue color of tutorials, the title, the author, the date, and all that stuff. An advertisement for web hosting, related articles, and more information about this post. Here we have the sidebar again. If we go to tutorials, we see an overview with the most recent tutorials, and a sidebar over here, and more tutorials, and the sidebar is sticky. And if we go to blog, we see an overview of the blog post. I will show you how to create an about page like this, and a contact page. So that's what we have made. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Feel free to like this and to subscribe for more upcoming videos. And I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.